So many of these things really did shift the way I think about things because you brought them up. But obviously, Steve, Jeff has spent his life creating these concepts and ideas. You brought them to most of us in the world. He talks about there's two types of decisions, and this blew my mind because we typically don't separate decisions this way, and we agonize over all decisions sometimes the same way, and we shouldn't. So why don't you tell us about generating high velocity decisions?
Yeah, so that's again, there were four cycles: test, build, accelerate, and scale. And accelerate, the first principle there is to generate high velocity decisions. The way Bezos describes it is that there are two types of decisions, what he called type 1 and type 2. Type 1 decisions are big, bet the farm, and we make those decisions slowly with as much data as we possibly can. The other type of decisions are type 2 decisions. Type 2 decisions are easier to make, you don't need as much data, and are reversible. And that's really a key difference between type 1 and type 2. Type 1 are hard to reverse if we make this decision, this move. Type 2 decisions are easy to reverse, to pivot, to change. And he says part of what happens at companies is they tend to move type 2 decisions into a type 1 process. And the way I describe that is, how many layers of decision making do you have to go through to get a yes, right? And most decisions don't need any layers. You create a high quality staff with good judgment. You let them make a decision. You understand they're not going to be 100% right, back to encourage successful failure, but you also know that they can make pivots quickly. If it's not right, figure out what assumption did we make that wasn't right, why wasn't it right, we learn, and let's make another decision as quickly. And kind of the example right now for me on Amazon is, within a couple week period, they hired worldwide 175,000 new staff people to help in their fulfillment centers, primarily to get stuff out, because people were ordering online. They couldn't get out to stores. Right. They couldn't do these things. Amazon was overwhelmed. How did they do that? Well, they had this, they had the structure in place. They scale every year during the holiday season, so that they know how to do that. This was a kind of a step or two higher than that, but they were able to make decisions rapidly. They didn't have to go through all kinds of approval levels. They just did it because they know this is what we have to do to what. And again, I go back to, because we obsess over the customers, how do we take care of them? This is what we have to do.
Absolutely. And many of us who've had our own businesses, there's times where we feel like we're creating more work for ourselves when our team continually comes back and asks us, what should I do here? 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 And that really, at the end of the day, that's our fault for not creating a culture of, hey, you can make some of these decisions. Here's how, and I know you're never going to be perfect. Take some risks, and setting it up effectively. The key is you have to think it through and set it up effectively so that you are setting up a system that you're going to be happy with. And of course, once you've invented that, you can innovate and make it even better.
Exactly.